Hey guys, I am here today to do a review over Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I personally love this movie so much. Before I start talking about it though, I wanted to say I'm sorry it's late. If you're doing by theater release, this video is super late, but I don't have a way to go to the theater right now, so was planning on watching it when Disney Plus put it on, but at the time of putting this out into the world and posting this, it'll be like a week after that. So I'm sorry it's late, but I hope you still enjoy this video. So let's get started with this. As always, I'm going to do the non-spoiler section and then the spoiler section. So if you've not watched the movie yet, you can watch a portion of this video and then I'll tell you when you should leave if you don't want to be spoiled. Okay, let's get started. I loved this movie so much. I think all these characters are some of the best characters that I've seen from an origin story, and just watching the origin story. Like, that you're never gonna get. Steve is one of my favorite characters. Like, I love Steve and Tony. But, like, here's one for example. Bucky Barnes. Now that once I watched a couple more of the movies he was in, I liked him a lot more. But when I just watched the first Avenger, if I'm honest, I didn't really care that much. I was kind of sad when he died, but I was like, okay, he was fine. It was kind of sad, but okay. But I really enjoyed these characters just from watching this origin story movie, and I think that says a lot because origin story movies are not always very good. I'm talking to you, Thor. Thor's not very good in my opinion. Okay, moving away from that though, I think that this was really good. I loved it. I loved all the characters. I thought the comedy was great. I thought the action was great. The climax was awesome. And I just really loved it. I loved everything about this movie, and I'm so excited that we're getting more of him, because I'm so excited to see more of Shang-Chi and all of his other friends like Katie. I really want to see more of them. I know Shang-Chi is coming back and Katie's probably coming back. But I don't know about any of the other characters, so I would love to see more of them. I'll get more in depth with that in the spoiler section. But as you can tell, I love this movie. There's not a whole lot of negatives I have to this movie. I personally thought it was awesome and I loved it. I would highly recommend it if you are thinking about watching it. Like Marvel, if you like Marvel Comics. If you like Marvel Comics, it's probably very likely that you've already watched this, but if you haven't, I would recommend it. It's awesome. I loved it. If you even were like, oh, maybe I should watch it, I would recommend it. It's fun. You can get 3 minutes into it, and if it's not your thing, turn it off. If it is, keep watching it, and then you'll love it just as much as I do, hopefully. So I'm going to move on to the spoiler section now. Just to end it, I love this. It was a great movie. The characters were great, the action was great, the comedy was great, just everything about it was amazing, and I would highly recommend it. Okay, now I'm going to get into spoilers. So if you have not watched Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, I would recommend leaving now, because I will be talking about specifics that happened in this movie and the very end. So if you don't want to know what happened, I would recommend leaving now, because it's spoiler territory now. Okay, now that I've given you the warning, here's 3 seconds for you to leave. Okay, now you're all done, hopefully. Okay, I'll see you guys that left later. Hello to the people that are still here. Okay, so let's start talking about Shang-Chi. I already talked about him a lot, but I just want to get more specifics into his character, because just everything was awesome. I loved his personality, and his friendship with Katie, I think, was the big thing that I loved. I loved their friendship so much. It was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie. And my favorite part of their friendship was when they were singing karaoke. I love karaoke. Karaoke is so much fun. If you ever want to, like, any of my friends that are watching this, I've probably made you do karaoke before because I love karaoke. I've done karaoke with all these, like, all kinds of different things, and it really made me happy, especially A Whole New World, because I've definitely made one of my friends, like, I'll be like, I'll sing this part and you sing the other part to A Whole New World. I've done that, and I don't feel bad for it. And that was my favorite part of their friendship. I loved it. It was awesome. And just everything about them was great. Now let's go on to Shang-Chi's sister. I know I didn't talk about them that much, but I'll talk about them some more. Shang-Chi's sister was awesome, and whoever did her costume designs, like, you deserve a lot, because her costume designs were probably the best costume designs in the movie, in my opinion. Just all the costume designs were awesome, but I feel like hers were always super cool, and I loved them. And then let's talk about their dad. Their dad was not the best person in the world, and kind of awful, an awful parent. So he was an interesting character, but I'm kind of happy he died at the end, because they don't need that in their lives anymore. It was kind of sad because I liked the character and it was interesting, but also happy because I don't want those characters to have to deal with that anymore. So that was that with the dad. Let's talk about the Mandarin, who was actually the dad. But the Mandarin, or Trevor is his actual name, from Iron Man 3 came back. And I feel like I have to say this because there's so many people who hate on this movie, but I love Iron Man 3. I think it's a great movie. Like, it's far from my favorite Marvel movie, but it's definitely not my least favorite. Like, it's far from that list, actually. It's probably about in the middle of the Marvel movies. I really like this movie, and I don't know why everyone hates on it. I think it's just because everyone is like, oh, they hate on it, so I'm gonna hate on it too. Like, Thor: The Dark World, Thor, those are probably the two I understand the most that people hate on. Those two, like, people are like, are the worst, and they actually would be at the very bottom of my ranking, so I understand. But we're not doing that. Let's not go on a little thing about Iron Man 3 and how I think it's underrated. But, it was great to see the Mandarin again. I was not expecting that. I did not know he was going to be in this, actually. I knew the actual Mandarin was going to be in it, but I didn't know the guy from Iron Man 3 was going to be in it, so I was excited when I saw him. And I think he did a great job. He was funny, and his little pet thing was really, really cute. And it was like, and then when they were all in the car and trying not to be swallowed up before they went to the place that their mom was from, that was really cool. He was like, you have to turn right now, and take a sharp right, sharp left, and then go straight. You gotta keep, you don't want the forest to swallow you up, so you have to go at this certain, and I liked that part. It was just chaotic, and it was fun. I like chaotic energy in movies, and that was definitely that, so it was awesome. Liked that a lot, and I just liked him as a character. Let's talk about the climax. The climax was awesome. I loved everything with the dad and him and Shang-Chi getting the 10 rings. I'm so excited to see what they do with those rings, especially with the end credit scene. I won't talk about that yet, but I'll get to that. And then the dad opening up and having monsters coming out of it, and then this big monster, and Katie actually takes it down with a bow and arrow, because Katie's awesome, and I loved that. That was great, and just all of everything with that climax was awesome, and just all of the fighting was so good. I loved that climax, and it was great. I liked it a lot, and everything with Shang-Chi and his dad was really cool, and then him ending up dying. It was a really great climax, and how they approached it was awesome. I liked it a lot. Yeah, I think everything about it was awesome. I loved the characters. I loved everything leading up to the climax, but I thought like the climax was the very important part, so that's kind of what I skipped to. And now I'm gonna talk about the end credit scenes. The first one was definitely my favorite out of the two. I loved how they were talking about the events of the movie to their friend from high school that you'd seen at the beginning of the movie. And she's like, I know I made fun of you for not having an actual job, but you don't need to rub in my face. Like, I know you're lying. And then Wong comes up. It's like, where's Shang-Chi? He's like, that's me. And her face when he goes through that portal it's just really funny. And then once he finally gets there and you get to see Carol and Bruce, two characters I really like. I think Carol's actually really underrated. I really like Carol, and even Bruce is kind of underrated too. So, and then them getting to talk to the Avengers was awesome. I loved that. I'm so excited to see them because we're getting She-Hulk and then the Marvels, so we'll get to see them again soon, and that made me really happy. And everything with that, and Wong, and that was a great one. And then the second one was just kind of strange. It was mostly just Shang-Chi's sister is now taking over, and the Warriors kind of looked like they were doing choreography for a dance. I know that wasn't what they were going for, but that's all my brain was saying. Like, this looks like a Broadway musical, and that also might be because with the Rogers the musical thing. That thing's so funny. I'm so I really hope we get more of that. But I don't know. It didn't seem threatening, and I really hope that was not supposed to be seen as threatening. It was like just saying, oh, she's a better ruler. She lets them mess around, but still fight, I guess. I don't know, but like not abusing others and things like that, which is awesome. But it kind of looks like a dance, like, which probably was not what they were going for, but that's just what my brain said it looks like. So this video has already been long enough. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So I'm going to end it here. And yeah, it's now on Disney Plus, so you can go check it out. I would highly recommend it. It's a good movie. Everything about it is just, it's a fun ride, and I would recommend it to anyone who likes Marvel, to anyone who likes superhero movies, just anything in general. It's a really fun movie, and it's great. I will see you guys later. I love you 3000, and stay safe. Bye, guys.